Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are here for a much awaited video. I am going to be announcing the fall Deborah Muller color along and all of the details. Most of you that are in my Facebook group already know most of the details, and you've probably gotten your color palettes and printed out your page. If you are just stumbling across this video and you would like to be a part of this color along, please do make sure you check the description box below, because you will find a link down there to join my Facebook group. And please also subscribe and turn your bell notifications on so that you always get notified of future videos. And as always, for all of you, if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up, because that really helps my channel out a lot. Now let's get into all the details of this color along. And of course, as always, if there is something that I don't go over and you have questions, please place those in the comments below so that I could make sure that they get answered. I always do answer all of my comments, so if you have a question, please do ask there or in my Facebook group. I have been doing a series on my channel, Adult Coloring for Beginners, and my very first video that I did in that series was a video showing you how to get started with adult coloring. And in that video, I featured one of Deborah Muller's books, because that is where I started. And I really love her artwork, and that is what really helped me to learn how to color skin and hair and eyes and all of the things that everybody in my Facebook group and the comments on my YouTube videos are all asking me for. So what I did is I reached out to Deborah on Facebook, and I asked her if she would be so kind as to create a page just for my Facebook group. And she asked me what I was looking for, and I told her that so many in my Facebook group were asking for tutorials on skin and hair and clothing, and one of the biggest ones was backgrounds. So I asked her if she could create us a page with all of those things in it. I wanted it to be fall themed, and I wanted a lot of space for the background. As you can see, she did exactly that for us. Isn't that awesome? So you guys know that there is definitely a background tutorial coming for this one. So many of you have requested that. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is color palettes. This is a limited palette color along, and we voted on several different color palettes in my Facebook group, and there were two. I always choose two, but there were two that had the most votes, and so I will have those on the screen right now so that you could see the choices of color palettes. Again, if you want those color palettes and you want to save those on your phone or to your computer, please make sure you check the description so that you can join my Facebook group, because those are available there, as well as this coloring page. And that leads me into, I know so many of you are going to ask me, what paper should we print on? So I went into my Facebook group because I wanted to get everybody's opinion as to which pencils they wanted me to use, and I was originally going to use the Arteza pencils, because my adult coloring for beginner series, I have been using only Artezas, and I really love those pencils and I love how they perform, and so those are the ones I was going to use. But I thought we always do all of the color longs with Prismacolors, and the majority of everyone has Prismacolors. And so I went in my Facebook group and I did a poll, and everybody wanted, or the majority of them, most of them, I would say probably 90% of the votes were favoring Prismacolors. So we are going to do Prismacolors, and that happened after I had already picked out all the colors for the coloring palette for the Arteza pencils. So I've got all the colors for one of the palettes. I'm going to be doing the palette that you're looking at that has the bright pink color in it, and I'll try to make sure that one is on the right hand corner of the screen when I edit the video, but it's got purple and bright pinks, and it's just really beautiful. But that is the color palette that I matched up my pencils to, so I matched up all of the Arteza pencils, and then I went back after everybody had voted on the Prismacolors And I chose all my Prismacolors as well for that same palette. So what I'm probably going to do in my next video, as I always do, I show you exactly what colors I chose, why I chose them, and how I chose them. So that video will be coming next. And what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to do that video with the Prismacolors since those were in favor. And then in the description box down below, I will have all of the Arteza pencils that I matched up with their numbers and their names. So you'll be able to find that at the bottom of the description box. I think that's the way I am going to go about that, because I think if I put it in the video that it's going to make the video stretch far too long. So the next thing is what paper to print on. So since I'm using my Prismacolors, the best paper that I have found that works with my Prismacolors is this digital, Spring Hill digital paper. It is 80-pound cardstock, and that is what I have printed this on. You could see that it is pretty thick, and it's got a good amount of tooth, and it really handles the Prismacolors really, really well. I could lay down quite a few layers, and I could burnish with this paper, and I really just love it. So if you're using Artezas, I don't like the Artezas with the Spring Hill paper. If I'm using the Artezas, I prefer the Nina Exact Vellum Bristol 67 pound, and I will have all of these linked down in the description below. Now, if you do not have a printer and you are not on Facebook and you still want to be able to follow along with this color along, you can do that. Just find a picture, any portrait that you would like to color, and all of the techniques that I show you, how to color skin, how to color hair, how to color eyes, the clothing, and everything else, the flowers, the leaves. You can, I'm sure, find a page in some coloring book that you have that is a lot like this one that has some open background space, so that you could also follow along and use all the same tutorials that I'm showing you on my channel on your own coloring page. So I hope that I answered all of the questions. The next video that you see will be the pencil matching video. I know that's the one that everybody always gets so excited about because y'all want me to pick your pencils for you. If you want to pick your own pencils and you're in my Facebook group and you already have the color palettes, pick your own pencils. Now, do know that I only picked pencils for one of the color palettes, and that would be the one that I'm going to try to make sure I've got in the upper right hand corner of the screen, because it takes a long time for me to pick colors, and after y'all decided you wanted Prisma and I'd already picked all the Arteza pencils, I am done pencil picking. So there's that. Okay, so I think you guys will be very pleased with the colors that I chose for this. Of course, as always, I look at the page and I determine between the page and the color palette what colors are going to look best, because I want to make sure that I have all the colors I need for the highlights and the shading and the shadowing, and to be able to add depth and dimension and all of those things that I love to do. So if you are going to join us for this color along, please make sure you are subscribed and you've got your bell notifications on so you always know when the next video is coming. And make sure that you're in my Facebook group. The link is in the description. And of course, if you have any questions, make sure you list them in the comments below or you ask them in the Facebook group. I am always available to answer all your questions. As always, everything that you have seen me talk about or show you in this video will be linked in the description box below so that you could find it for yourself. If you would like me to, I would also be glad to list a couple of my favorite fall Deborah Muller books down there in the description as well. And I hope y'all have a fantastic day. Happy coloring. Bye.